Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, and others. I want to thank you once again and tune into the Bell Ringer Show. I'm your host, Brother Sam Bell. I'd like to thank Almighty God Allah for allowing us once again another day on this beautiful earth. And I want to thank my brother, Eddie Great Hope, for allowing me to have some space on the podcast and for reaching out to the people to bestow knowledge upon all of them. I want to thank my brother Dice for tuning in with me, also for hooking up on the ones and the twos. Thank you, brother. And once again, I come to talk about Black history, since it's the month that they gave us to celebrate our long history. And it's just amazing, we wait till February or every year to study our history. I was eating in West Sicilian Sunday, and I saw a sister with a beautiful African attire on. And I told my sister, I said, "Sister, that look good you got on." She said, "Yeah, it's Black History Month. So, I'm dressing." It's the mindset that we have. We allow these people to give us 1 month to celebrate our history. I went in Walmart. I saw two beautiful couples. They had their kente cloth on. I mean, beautiful. But just a shame that we have to wait till February to wear clothes like this. We should be black 365 days a year, not 28 days in the month of February. It just shows you that what happened to us during these times, that we got to re-educate ourselves. We got to learn something about ourselves. And that's what's wrong as a people. We don't know ourselves. We know everybody else's history, because this man give us 28 days, and every 4-year leap year, 29 days, to celebrate our wonderful history. Our history is so long, so joyful, that if we learn more about ourselves, we'll love ourselves. And before I get started, I want to send my condolences out to the Kelly family. They lost a sister, a aunt, a daughter, and her name was Kathy Kelly. She had a brother named Funk, who was James Kelly. Her dad's name was EJ, and had a sister named Tinkle. But I want to send my condolences out to that family, because I understand they're grieving right now. They're going through pain. But I just want to let them know God don't make no mistake. In the Holy Quran, Allah said He give life and He ultimate cause of death. And it also so no soul dies without the will of God. Whatever happens, if God will. He have a divine will and He have a permissive will. He permit things to happen in our life. Sometimes we don't understand why God do things. But since we respect Him as the all-knowing God, we know He don't make no mistake. So I want to send my condolences out to them. And when I was growing up in Reach Court, I used to see a lot of brothers, they used to be drinking a little beer, a little wine, a little whiskey. They'll pop their baller, and before they took a drink, they'll pour some out. They pour some out to all the brothers who used to drink with them, who gone out somewhere now. They had left this plane. And so I want to do this in a spiritual sense that we used to do in Africa. That's where it's a tradition that come from Africa, but we used to do it back in the day and didn't know what the hell we were doing. Like I said, brother popped the cap off of whiskey bottle, a beer bottle, a wine bottle, then they pour a little something out on the ground. So that's for all the homeless who are not here with us today. But in the African tradition, it's called libation. In some places they use grains of wheat, rice. It's whatever you calling upon. If you're pouring out the grain, you want God to bless you with more harvest. And so today I got water, spring water, and I got a flower. The water represents the essence of life. We understand that we need water for life. And water make up 65% of our body. It made up of water. And I got a plant represent the earth. We understand our body is made of earth. And this plant got leaves on it. If you look at your hand and look at the leaves on the plant, it got some of the same design in it. So you're a part of this plant. And when I pour this water in the plant, we say Ashe. A-S-E. Ashe means concede power to make things happen, to bring things into existence. It's also mean let it be. And when every time you pour this water, you holler, you cry Ashe. But in the African tradition, when they holler Ashe, it's a spiritual meaning to when they talking to their ancestors who gone away. And so when I pour this water, I said Ashe. I call out to some of our ancestors who have left this plane. But we understand our soul, our spirit is energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. So we don't believe in death like other people believe in death. We believe they on another realm. Not this physical realm like we see with our eye, but on a spiritual realm. So when I pour out this water, I'm going to call out our ancestors' name. And we ask for their spirit, their energy, invoke into us and make us a better people. I'm going to call out their name. Ashe, Fannie Lou Hamer. Ashe, Harriet Tubman. Ashe, Sojourner Truth. Ashe, Francis Wilson. Ashe, Sister Clara Muhammad. Ashe, Carter G. Woodson, who is the father of Black History Month. Ashe, Nat Turner. Ashe, Frederick Douglass. Ashe, Malcolm X. Ashe, Miss Paula Hollenberg. Ashe, Miss Mamie Patil. Ashe, Frederick Douglass. Ashe, Malcolm X. Ashe, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Ashe, Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Ashe, Eddie Lee Griffin. Ashe, Mr. Bill Davis. Ashe, Mr. Sudbury. Ashe, Mr. James Bishop. Ashe, Reverend Tony Burks. Ashe, James Chaney. Ashe, Mr. Ernest Smith. Ashe, Emmett Till. Ashe, and most and foremost to my grandparents, Mr. Sam Bell and Mr. Florence Bell. Ashe. So we calling upon their spirit to be among us in this mighty war. Because we're at war, people. If you don't understand that you as a black person, that you ain't at war, you have to be a fool. We see what all going around in the world today. And we still think this is a game. But when your life is at stake, you got to know who your enemy are. And if you look in the community, somebody said a little young girl got shot, I think it was yesterday, walking the street, and somebody drove by and shot her. And it's sad that our children cannot walk the street right now in peace. But we always look at things on the surface. We don't never go to the root of this problem. And that will make Elijah Muhammad one of the greatest teachers ever came among us, because he was a doctor. He went to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is self-hatred. We hate just being black people. Because if you love being black, you won't hate somebody you won't hurt somebody who look like you. But since you hate being black, every time you see somebody black, the first thing you think about, hey, go a nigger. And that will make it so easy for us to kill each other. But when you go to the root of the problem, why all this happen, you can solve the problem. But it's sad to say we can lock more people up. We can give them longer sentencing. We can do this and we can do that. That's not going to solve the problem. This problem is mental and spiritual among us as a black people. Because we never killed each other like we're killing each other today. Never in history of black people. If you go to Africa, we never just killed each other like we are doing today. Yeah, we used to have a little tribe fighting against other tribes. But it wasn't like it is today. You can't go on the walls of pyramid and see some brothers on their knees shooting craps and get up and kill each other because one throw a seven, the other throw a left. You can't go over there and see that on the walls of the pyramid. You see us living in harmony and peace. In the African language, we call it ma'at, true balance. That's what we had. That's how we live. But something happened to us. And I want to get to some of that point today. I want to be the doctor today to go deep inside our psyche and let you know what happened to us and let you know how we can solve some of these problems. We can't go to the enemy think he's going to solve the problem that he created. We can't do that, brothers and sisters. We got to solve these problems among ourselves. We got to find a solution to these problems among ourselves. Because if we don't, it's not finna get better. Joe Biden cannot solve these problems that his people created. He cannot solve these problems. So, like I said, this Black History Month, I want to go through some of the things that we went through this month right here. Okay, Brother Dice. Since this Black History Month, I'm going to show what life began for all human beings. See, we got to go to the root of these problems. Now, you look at this. You never been taught in life, nowhere in the public food system, that the first people on earth were black people. You never been taught that. When I open up a Bible, I always see Adam and Eve as white people. Once again, if a person would not treat you right, what make you think they will teach you right? The Caucasian is not going to teach us right. Most of them is illiterate to the knowledge of themselves. They don't know, understand where they come from. But I'm going to be a doctor to you. This is where they come from. Black people. Black is dominant. Like I said, once again, black is dominant. Light-skinned people are recessive. You can get the recessive from the dominant, but you cannot get the dominant from the recessive. Hey, go two black people who had a pure white baby. Not no albino. We know we have albino. But this is a blue-eyed, blonde-haired baby. We got to start from the beginning, people. Next one, big brother. Just pop him up there. But now, if you never know your history, you always going to be lost. You always going to think black people ain't never did nothing. They ain't never niggas. They ain't never did nothing. All they do is sell dope. That's all they do, stand on the corners and drink. That's all they do, have their pants sagging. And that's what the enemy wants you to think that way. But let us go back to the beginning. Look at that great building called a pyramid in Africa. They never taught us in school that Egypt was in Africa. Never. They always say Egypt. But when they want to talk about a bad part of Africa, a poor part of Africa, they always say Ethiopia, Africa. But they never point to Egypt and let you know that the black people to build the pyramid. Think about if our children know this. They'll think highly of themselves because they will understand whatever they see, they can be. Whatever they see, they can be. They can be the same people who built this pyramid. They call this the seventh wonder of the world. Look at this cat right here. It's a structure of a body of a lion with a man face. Who is the king of the jungle? You said a lion is the king of the jungle. So what were our ancestors trying to tell the world? That black people are the king of the world. Look at this structure now. And then Napoleon Bonaparte, he went to Africa and saw this. He saw this big, fade black man just staring at him. He got his cannon and lined it up and shot 21 times. That's where they get the 21 gun salutes from in the army right today. When they shoot over a dead soldier 21 times, that's where they got it from. Napoleon lined his cannon up and shot. But we had built this structure so tough, the only thing he did was shot off the nose. Go to the next one, brother. Now look at this black man. One of the greatest black men ever walked the earth. But they didn't teach us this in school. His name Imhotep. Research it for yourself. Imhotep. He was a black man, physician, mathematician, astronomer. He could do it all. He used to do operation in Egypt, cataract, operate on people's eyes. He did this. And look at some of the instruments that they used back then, over 5,000 years ago. It's the same instrument that we got today. Think if our children really know this about themselves. That'll make them feel proud of themselves. And then some of the things that we hear in the street going on today, it comes from lack of knowledge of self. If they know they self more, they won't harm each other more. Let's go to the next one, big brother. Now look at this murder right here. Now you ask any young man or any young girl in school, what year did Christopher Columbus discover America? 1492. He sailed the blues. I still remember. 40 years ago when I was in school. Over 40 years ago, it's still in the psyche of my mind about this devil right here. Christopher Columbus. They taught us he discovered America. It's just sad that we couldn't think at that time. And our parents didn't know neither. They didn't know. They sent us to school to get an education. They think they would. But they were sending us to a trap house. To trap our mind. To make us love white people and hate ourselves. Think about it. They said Christopher Columbus discovered America. Just think if I'm riding on I-20 and I see a Range Rover on I-20 broke down on flat. And I get this Range Rover, I fix the flat, and I take up off I-20. The highway patrolman catch me. He pulled me over. And I tell him, I discovered this Range Rover. What you think he gonna do? You better get against the car, nigga. You discovered this. You stole somebody's car. But right today, they still tell us that Christopher Columbus discovered America. And we know he was a thief because Indian was already here. But they teach us that. This is the next picture. The first president of the United States of America. We know him as Old George. Old George Washington. And I told you last week about Old George. Old George owned the slaves. And Old George lost most of his teeth at the age of 24 years old. He was bad mouth, as we call him. But he had dentures in his mouth. And the scientists were looking at the dentures. They thought they were made out of wood. But they would read some of the old diaries that George and some of the people around George wrote. And they found out that his teeth come out of slave mouth. Well, this man took pliers and pulled the teeth out of his slave mouth. Think about this. He just took a pliers and pulled it, just yanked the teeth out of his slave mouth. But they teach us in school, this was a great man. Now you see why we kill each other? Now you see why we don't kill white people like we kill black people? Because we love white people. That's why. We hate ourselves and love them because what they taught us in school. Wonderful white people, you was in Africa. Walking around with bones in their nose. You were young before. You remember the movie Tarzan? Here go one white man in the jungle, swinging on trees. All he got to do is holler, make all the animals submit. He get in the water, wrestle against alligators. What were they trying to put in our mind? The black peoples over there were scared of him. There go one white man. You got 100 black tribes over there. And they run from this one white man. What they were trying to put in the psyche of your mind? That they are superior. And that's what our young children think today. That white people are superior and they are inferior. Because that's why they do inferior things. Inferior is when you kill each other over nothing. Over nothing. That's an inferior teaching. But look at George Washington now. No good. Raped black women. Listen now, he raped black women. They say he caught pneumonia from raping a black woman in a horse stall. Think about this, man. This is the first president of the United States raping black women. rape them, just take them. Cause you got to understand, slave was just property. They were property. They were like they cow, they horse, they sheep, they goat, and they pig. And they did what they wanted to do with them. And those George Washington sold one lady for a barrel of rum, whiskey. We want nothing to these crackers. And then you want to teach us in school, Miss Amy Carter, that George Washington was a great man. He wasn't great to black people. Tell the truth. He might have been great to white people and for white people, but he wasn't great to black people. You can't sit in no school and teach a Jew that Adolf Hitler was great. You cannot do that. They parents would take them out that school. But they teach our little children anything in school. And they sit there and gobble it up. Then you wonder why our children doing what they doing to each other. The education system, miseducating them. And we can prove that. Now George Washington sold a black woman for a barrel of whiskey. That sister wasn't worth nothing to him. Research it for yourself. Don't take Brother Sam's word. Research it for yourself. That cracker wasn't no good. Didn't care nothing about black people. And when we use the word cracker, it comes from when a slave master used to get his overseer to get a whip and whoop the slave. And the whip used to make a cracking sound every time it whipped the flesh out, ripped the flesh out the black man's body. That's where you get the word cracker from. He used to say, "Come here, cracker." And he used to crap their whip on our backs. That's where we get that word from. And then you might say, well, what if they call us a nigger? He can call me what he want to. You can call me a nigger. A white man can call me a nigger. I know what a nigger is. A nigger is a black man made in a white man's image. That's a nigger. God said let us make man. White man said let us make nigger. So if you're a nigger, you made in the image of a white man. Do your research. Well, here go another no good man. Thomas Jefferson. He was the third president of the United States, the United Snakes of America. Now you think about old Thomas. And every time you think about Thomas Jefferson, I'm going to give you something to think about. He was another no good cracker. Yeah, I call him a cracker, and that's what he was, a no good cracker. But when you mention R. Kelly, oh, R. Kelly, he messed with them little young girls. That's what black people say now. He messed with these young girls. You mention Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby, no, he was wrong for drugging them women, putting them to sleep, and having sex with them. What the hell they doing in his hotel room or in his office 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning? No, he married. What they go there for? 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to a married man hotel. She was a hoe. She went there for something. And she got what she went there for. And I tell my daughter, you ain't got no business going to no married man 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. What you going there for? You ain't going there to learn nothing in your classroom. You going there for something. Then the women who they entrap R. Kelly with, black people. R. Kelly, no, he was wrong. Messing with them little young girls. It's sad how we think and put our stars down. White people don't do that. And you look at the no good cracker right here. Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, get Miss Amy Carter and let her teach this in class. He used to rape his wife, half sister, Sally Hemings. She was 14 years old. Think about this now. Sally Hemings was 14 years old when Thomas Jefferson started raping her. I want you to do Thomas Jefferson just like you do R. Kelly. And tell your children that who go to school and your grandchildren, when they say something about Thomas Jefferson, say he's a pedophile. He's a rapist. He's a woman abuser. He's a black person hater. Thomas Jefferson, do your research. Sally Hemings, one of them, 14 years old. Thomas Jefferson had 6 children by her. 6. In the Hemings side of the family, prove this. They went and got some DNA from Thomas Jefferson relative in the comparative. And 99.9 them were Thomas Jefferson children. That's all they used to do, you black women. Because they were property. Anytime they want to go lay with them, they go lay with them any time of the night. Then you going to tell us this our founding father? That they cared something about black people? How? This man owned over 600 slaves in his lifetime. Thomas Jefferson. And old George Washington owned over 600 slaves in his lifetime. How can you love a human being when you enslave them? You take their God-given right from them. You reduce them to lower than an animal. What kind of man would do that to another man or to another woman? And make it so bad about these no-good bastards. They had children by these slave women and even sold their children into slavery. You think about this, black people. Thomas Jefferson had children by other slaves and sold them into slavery. Think about it. But they want us to honor and respect these people. Think about that now. They raped the black women. Think about how they treated black people. A black woman, so they want to put fear in the other slave. They go get a black pregnant woman, 8 or 9 months years old, put her in front of them and cut the baby out of her. And let that baby hit the ground. Then they smash the baby with their feet. Think about these no good bastards. They get a man, tie a horse to a leg and arm, and tie the other side to another horse, and whip the horse and make them go in different direction and split them open. Think about this now. That's what the founding father did to black people. But you want our children to honor and respect them. Then you want to know why white people act the way they want to act. Why do they act the way they act? They get it from their father. And I want you to do me a favor. Name me one white person you know, last name Washington. Just think about it. Name me one white person who last name is Washington. I know Denzel Washington. I know Booker T. Washington. I know Harold Washington. But I want you to name me one white person that you personally know named Washington. Why is more black people in America named Washington than white? Why? They had a census in 2020. Over 300,000 black people are named Washington in the United States. That is the most common name among black people, Washington. 95% of the people who wear the name Washington are black. The other 5% are white. Why? Because George and Martha Washington, they didn't have no children. So whatever plantation you was on, that was your name. Today you might be on Washington plantation. He say you tomorrow you be on Jefferson plantation, so your name be Jefferson. He say you tomorrow, the next day, your name be Jackson plantation, because you're Andrew Jackson plantation. They treat us like animals. And then their own right, and they said we were 3/5 of a human being. Think about that. What you think they put in the psyche of black people, knowing they worthless? 3/5 of the human being. What they were saying, it'd take 3 black people to make 1 white man. So they did it for taxation. So when they counted their cow, they sheep, they hog, and they dog, they counted their nigger. You dealing with some evil people. But they want to teach us that the devil's on the ground. When you die, if you be bad, You go be under the ground with the devil. He got a red pantyhose on with a pig fault. He's jugging your behind. Then you in a fire. Think about that. You in a fire that burn you forever. What kind of damn fire this is? Think about what I'm asking you. You just burn forever. Then they come back and tell you you can't see God while you're alive. Because they quote when Moses was on the mountain. And God told Moses, you can't see my face. No man see my face and live. But then they're going to tell you, you wait till you die, you can see God. I don't want to see God then. Because I don't want to die. Then they teach you heaven is in the sky. Heaven is in the sky, y'all. Think about this now. That was the preacher teach. That heaven is in the sky. Nobody been to heaven to come back and tell you how it was on the other side. They got telescopes now that see light years away. That's 1 billion miles from the earth. Light years. They got telescopes now. They can see into the future. They ain't saw no heaven yet. I'm talking to my pastor, my pulpit pimps now, who in the pulpit pimping every Sunday. And that would make me mad and get angry when brother come up to me and say, Eddie Great Hope running for Ward 2? Who gonna vote for him? Some of the things he done did. And some of y'all go to the same churches, know your pastor done have marriage affair with different women. But you don't condemn him. He's supposed to be a man of God. Eddie Great Hope never stood in no church and said, I'm a saved man. But you go to church on Sunday, know your pastor that has sex with members in the church. You know I ain't lying. I asked one member, what y'all gonna do about it? We just gonna put it in the Lord's hand. Put it in the Lord's hand. He should pimp y'all then. If you gonna put it in the Lord's hand, what God give you 5 cents for? Well, he asked for forgiveness. He asked for, that's all he got to do, ask for forgiveness. Well, he just, another excuse, he just a man? No, when you say you're a man of God, you different. You saying that God's spirit underwear in you so much that you're going to make mistakes, but you ain't going to make them great kind of sin. That's not a mistake, laying with a married man wife. That's a sin. And when God call a man, he going to keep them kind of sin off that man, because that man is the perfect example for you and me to follow. I know brothers who smoke crack, and I get them to do work for me around the house. They ain't come to my house smoke crack. They come to my house to do the job I asked them to do. Whatever they do outside the job I asked them to do, that's on them. When you vote for a candidate, you don't care what he do in his personal life. You vote for him to do what he supposed to do, what he said he gonna do. But we don't want no change. Most of us just cowards. We don't want no strong man standing in front of us. We want to go along just to get along. And that's what's wrong with the condition of this city right here. You 55 to 60% black in Meridian. But look at the condition of this city. Look at the blacks and look at the whites. Look at the condition of this city. They come from the slave mentality. They come from with George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Columbus put in our psyche. We love white people. Look at the condition of Meridian, Mississippi. They bringing up Burger King here, I heard. $7.25 our job. How can you make it off this? Then they up in Congress debating about minimum wage. Can't you see how these people playing with your life? They debate. What is debate about? You know a human being cannot live off $7.25 an hour. You know that. That's poverty. Living in poverty, but they got designed that way to keep you right where you at. Where you go to school, you get an education, you get a better job. And then you go on their job, they say you overqualified as a black person. It's a known fact that a white boy with a high school diploma, a black man with a degree, they had a white boy first. And why should you get mad? I'm asking, why should you get mad about that? All they doing is following the law of nature, self-preservation. But you want to get mad at somebody who following the law of nature because you go against nature by your hating your black self. That's when I love Mr. Farrakhan. You can't defeat him. You cannot defeat Minister Farrakhan with his teaching. You cannot defeat him. Well, y'all Muslim. Muslim just an Arabic name. Once upon a time when we came from Africa, we wasn't no Christian. We didn't know nothing about Christianity in Africa. Now, bring your preachers and ask them, well, we Christian in Africa. And then if you go to Africa right now, to Ethiopia, they don't even practice Christianity like you practice here in America. And that's the older form of Christianity there. They don't practice like you do here. You believe in a white Jesus? A white Mary? Yeah, we believe in Jesus. We believe in the right Jesus, not the white Jesus. Yeah, we believe in the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit. We believe the Holy Spirit is black. The Holy Ghost is black. We believe Moses is black. We believe God black. We believe the angels are black. Oh yeah, we believe that. But you've been taught that the devil cake is what color? Black. The angel cake is what color? White. You've been taught this. See the kind of psychic they put in our mind? Make black look evil. That kind of psychic they put in our mind. Make black look evil. Think about it. You wear what color to wedding? White. What color you wear to a funeral? Black. If a black cat crosses the street, that means bad luck. Now you see how these people mess with our mind? And we believe this. It's sad, people. Sad. You can't argue with nothing I said today about George Washington and no good Thomas Jefferson. Read it about Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. Sally Hemings with Thomas Jefferson's wife had sister. Because Sally Hemings' dad raped a slave. They had sisters. Read it for yourself. It's sad why we keep teaching our children these lies in school and we want them to do better. They're not finna do better. You teaching these lies after lies after lies that these people they found and followed, that these people were great. They weren't great for black people. They were great for white people. So teach the white children that. Don't teach our children that, Miss Amy Carter. What you say, brother? Okay. Just think about that. The best thing Meridian had in the school system was Mr. Kent. He was the best thing Meridian could ever have. I was at Fifth Street Baptist Church that night when he spoke. The man paced the floor by 5 minutes before he said a word. The first word came out of his mouth. I smell an elephant in the room. White people got on their toes then. He understood the problem in Meridian, Mississippi. This brother from Chicago. He was a superintendent in Chicago. He said, I smell an elephant in this room. White people got to scratching where they want itching it. And he said these words. I didn't come to Meridian on my own. Y'all called me to help y'all in Meridian. He said, I ain't called y'all. Y'all called me because y'all needed help in Meridian, Mississippi. And I come to help you. Guess what? 3 or 4 months later, they gave that man $80,000 to $90,000. We don't care what. We want to get you out of here. Why? Why? Mr. Kent was a free black man. The brother retired from Chicago, a school system. He was getting $4,000 a month to live off of. So he was a free black man. He could speak the way he wanted to speak. Miss Carter is a slave. She can't say what she want to say. She is controlled. And Mr. Taylor was the same way. I talked to Mr. Taylor personally, one-on-one. And I told him what Minister Farrakhan said. Minister Farrakhan said, long as a person got a spoon in your mouth feeding you, he your master. You got to do what he tell you to do. If you don't, he take the spoon out your mouth, you'll starve. And when me and Mr. Taylor got through talking, God is my witness. He told me at the end, Brother Bell, That spoon you talking about, they got it in my mouth. How can these people help our children when they are controlled? How? They won't even let me in the public school system teach what I'm teaching right today. And it's the truth. Don't your Bible say you should know the truth and the truth should set you free? That's why our children still got the slave mentality. That's why they still hate each other, because they are slaves. It's another no good cracker right here. Thomas Jefferson. Sir Abraham Lincoln. Oh, Honest Abe was honest now. He was honest. Honest Abe said if he had to choose between a superior race, he would choose the white over the black. That was Honest Abe said. Honest Abe wanted to send black people back to Africa. You don't know that, do you? He wanted to send black people back to Africa. But you had them old pork chop eating preachers. No, we don't want to go back to Africa. Read the history for yourself. Honest Abe wanted to send black people back to Africa. I know a lot of y'all say, I don't want to go to Africa now. Because that's what they put in your mind. But Akon over there now building a $1 billion city. A lot of black people now moving back to Africa. Why you don't want to move back to your home? Where all the gold at? China trying to take over Africa. Why? Because Africa don't need nobody. America need Africa. You don't know that, do you? America need Africa to survive. China need Africa to survive. Russia need Africa to survive. Africa don't need nobody to survive. They just need the right leadership. They need people over there with knowledge to tell them how to handle their natural resources. But old Honest Abe, he said that he want to send you back to Africa. Think about it. It's another. Well, you know, Abraham Lincoln, he freed the slave. Abraham Lincoln said, if I could save the Union without freeing the slave, I would do that. That's what he said. If he could save the Union without freeing the slave, he would do that. But he couldn't save the Union because he needed the slave to fight. That's all they need black people for, to fight. Or do they work, the work that they don't want to do. But that's what Honest Abe said. That's why they call him Honest Abe. He was honest. He said if it had to be a superior race, he choose the white race over the black race. But you're going to tell my children and grandchildren in school that this is a great man when he hated black people? Every president you ever had hated black people. Even the one you called black. Hated black people. Donald Trump wasn't the first racist president. You act like Donald Trump was the first racist president. He wasn't the first racist president. Get that out your mind. You can't name one president loved the black people. If you did, you'll see them trying to get black people out of condition that they know they forefather put them in. They hated black people and still hate black people. All white people are racist. Listen now, and I can prove my point. All white people are racist. I didn't say all white people hate black people. I ain't said that. But I said all white people are racist. When they get up in the morning, they see a white face and they thinking like a white person. They want white to be first, no matter what. That's their nature. I ain't say all white people hate black people. I ain't said that. I said all white people are racist. History proved this to you and me. It proved this to you and me. Well, look old no good Abraham Lincoln, who wrote and signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Emancipate means to set free. Proclamation means to write down, let it be known. Set free from what, Abe? You set free by taking the chain off the hand, the feet. But you never took the chain off the mind. Black people are locked up in the mind with black inferiority. Black people hate being black from the teaching they have received from the slave master. You can't defeat what I'm saying. It's the truth. Emancipate. To set free. From what? Then old Honest Abe said, look here, I'm gonna give y'all 40 acres and a mule. What happened? This the president put in writing. I'm gonna give the slave in the north 40 acres and a mule. What happened? They killed old Honest Abe. But now Joe Biden, they finna look back through reparation and see that we deserve it. It ain't nothing to look at. Just go back what Abraham Lincoln said. Give 40 acres in a John Deere tractor now. That's all you got to do. You gave the Jew reparation. You paid them reparation. You ain't paid the black person who built this country not a damn thing. You ain't even paid us respect. But that was Honor Abe say. I'm going to give him 40 acres in a mule for fighting in the Union Army. It wasn't for black people, the North would have lost the war, people. It was black people fighting for the North. That's the only way Abraham Lincoln freed them. Physical. But you think about it. You done worked the man all his life for nothing. And then you let him go free, as you said. He don't know nothing how to survive on his own. He don't know nothing. So he got to turn around now and work for you as an indentured slaver. Work for you 7 years, then you let him go again. You dealing with the devil on earth. Elijah Muhammad said a white man is the devil, not a devil. He's the devil. The white people didn't argue with Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad used to walk around with $100,000 in a suit coat. A check for $100,000 and ask the white people, the scientists, the scholar, the religious people, white people, prove to me you're not the devil, and you can have that check. Then none of them challenge Elijah Muhammad. Why? Because he had the record of them. He had the record, and some of them even call themselves devil. What they say? Blue devils. They didn't say just devil. They said they're blue devil. So don't get mad at me because I call you a devil. You call yourself a devil. Blue do devils. So you's a devil. You know it. Some of you call yourself devil. Your actions have been devilish since you've been on this earth. And God bless me to come be back here Thursday. If it be God will, I'm going to prove to you. You are the devil and I always be the devil. And I challenge you to prove me wrong. Like I said, all white people are racist, but all white people don't hate black people. I want to thank you for tuning into the show. May God bless you all, and I hope and pray that you got something out of this message. And I want you to do your research and tell Brother Sam, is he lying or not? Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you all. Thank you, brothers and sisters.